Not a being if it is not doubled, but it does. He does not. He didn't see it was reduced. Thus, give him a very much strong depression. Maybe it's ironic to say for Chinese he got a depression, but somehow it happened because he felt like he has done something extraordinary for the entire being to liberate. He thought like there was no being left, but he saw billions, countless of beings still there, and he was so shocked. And then he said, I cannot do this job. I should have taken, if I use the really local words, he thought like, I should have taken the title Buddha instead of Bodhisattva and give up this vow, Bodhisattva vow. In those times, using this kind of words is like like here, using the words in I don't know, in French, amour, amour, love, amour, amour, amour. Amour is only used for the God in those times. It was a scandal. So like that, if I use Cherezi was depressed and all like this, it was a scandal. Now we are free. You can say whatever you want. So Cherezi was so much depressed that he gave up the vow. He said, I couldn't do it. He didn't give up the vow, but he said, I give up the beings. Suddenly when he said this one, he remembered he took a vow under Buddha Amitabha. Then he felt a little bit guilty. And then, boom, because of his guilty, he felt like, what have I done now? It was big wrong to say that I give up the beings. And this plus him into 1,000 pieces. And then after that one, of course, Buddha Amitabha came as a saver, as a good advisor, as a good psychologist. And he said, my son, this is not the way you are going to do it. You alone cannot do it. So therefore, I encourage you to do more. So thus, then Genesis, all these 1,000 pieces come together into 1,000 arms, 1,000 eyes. Now he can see 1,000 times than what he used to see. This is how he manifested all the entire, even Buddha Shakyamuni, Guru Rinpoche, all the entire masters is said that it is his incarnation. Even white Tara and green Tara are his incarnation. And he started manifested into beings, non-beings, into bridge, rock, trees, and all, just to help the being. This is how he did it, to liberate the entire beings. So now this is the, it. Now comes the philosophical question. So according to the philosophical question, samsara is like a jar. Okay, we are all in the samsara. So according to the philosophical understanding, no new being can be produced. You cannot produce a new being which never existed. We are all the beings here for millions of time. We are all beings, all soul. We are. There's no soul cannot be printed. Now it is outdated. It's gone. So no new beings can come. According to the Buddhism understanding, no being can be created. It's done. Got it? Yeah? You get it when I say no new beings?
Yes.
We are all, the entire samsara beings are all beings. Today cannot pop up suddenly a new being from nowhere. It is impossible. And then there are many beings enlightening. So now question comes, because in the philosophical we say beginningless of time, limitless being, we always say. So the question is, do you believe one day the samsara will be empty? That's the question. Because we are in a jar, and if there's a hole from the bottom, this whole is enlightening, path. So one by one is going on. Maybe it will not finish immediately. It will take so many time to go one drop, two drop, but one day there's an end. So do you believe that there will be end in the samsara? Philosophical question. Because logically, it's happening. Jar is there. No, we are not putting a new water in it, and then the water which is there is going out, and one day it will finish. But I will say, in a Buddhism perspective, they don't believe there is no end of beings. Being will never. There are billions of beings still be in samsara, which will never be enlightened. This also is already talked in the teaching of Buddha himself. So you cannot go contradictory to this Buddha's version. So now what do you say? Buddha said, individually beings can enlighten. Collectively it cannot. That means you can enlighten, but it is not necessary that everybody can enlighten. So therefore, individually, some can enlighten, but not all. That somebody who has no karmic connection at all, they cannot enlighten. Now what do you say? How is that possible according to this jar logic? According to the jar logic, it is going to end. I'm just looking to. I should look to other also. He was so confused of. He thought like I'm really asking to him, not only to you, to other. This question was asked when I was in class 3 to my Khenpo. I asked this question. I thought like this is a very much interesting and very much intelligent, clever question. And he gave a very clever answer. So answer said, he said to me, you put a example which you want to hear the answer. He said, your example is completely wrong. He said, the hole is not in the bottom. That's the problem. Hole is in the side. So therefore, all the water will not go because hole is at the side. If it is in the bottom, it can go. He said. Okay, so now. So, when we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, receiving the protection is always there. When you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, spiritually speaking, the protection against the fear is always there. But there is also kind of like a difficulties, obstacles in the day-to-day life, sickness, dealing with the situations. Even taking refuge, it has so much capacity to bring many auspicious things when we take refuge. This is what Buddhism believes. It's because when you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Lama Idam Khando, and Guru, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya, we are not talking refuge only to them. Whatever associated with them is automatically taken refuge. Therefore, if we think from the enlightened perspective, there is always a guardian from there. There's always kind of like they assure that we are okay. But from the relative point of view, when we have difficulties, sickness, and all like that, it helps. Because if we think about Lama or Idam or Dakini, these three we have taken refuge. But there are many important samsaric powerful beings. They have taken refuge to them also. And we are not alone in this samsara or in this world. Therefore, I talked yesterday about this energies thing, the naga, the naga, huh? A beautiful girl with a snack or fish, but half body is fish. Those are also part of naga. What is called in English and in Dutch? Huh?
Zeemermin.
What's mermaid? Yes. Mermaid is also a part of naga. They are very powerful beings, and there are, according to the Buddhism Tibetan text, there are almost 32 kind of energy and spirits. All of them are very powerful. They have taken refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, mostly. So when we take refuge to them, sometimes this help you because they think that we are in the same side. If I make it a very familiar.
Familiar.
How we call in English? This in French is called familiar.
Familiar? Same?
In English is familiar?
Same.
Okay. If I use these familiar words, we are body. This energies in us. So therefore, difficulties when you ask Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, these samsaric beings can help another samsaric being. This always happens. That's why dharmapalas becomes very important in the practice. So like that. So the more when you take refuge, many things, the auspicious things, the curing from the sickness, healings, this always come as a bonus. Get it? This always comes as a bonus. This was not a real purpose of a practitioner. The practitioner's real purpose is to get rid of my fear and then gain myself a confidence in me. So therefore I realize what is in me. This is the main purpose of taking refuge. But those things are bonus. It comes together. It helps. And then why don't we accept it? It's a bonus. It's good to have it. But there's also one problem. When we are being protected and we are given a refuge, sometimes we feel like we are like them. We feel very much arrogant. We feel very much powerful. We feel like I am the one who is the right hand of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and you are the index? No, this finger. Maybe little finger of the little toes. So therefore, I feel a little bit arrogant in front of you, and I see you like a third citizen. This happens in many Buddhist world, especially among between Rinpoches and then non-Rinpoches, between Khenpos and Lopens, between Dorje Lopens and Lamas, between senior monk and junior monk, between lay practitioner and non-practitioners, between senior lay practitioners and just beginner practitioners. This happened, arrogant comes. Because you feel like I'm more senior, so therefore I have some right, because I am the chosen one, It's possible, arrogant. So therefore, the more you take refuge, this protection is always there, but at the same time, you can create an arrogant there. It's possible. So that's the reason with a refuge we do a prostration. Because when you do prostration, I put my head, I put my two palm, two knees, which is a sign of arrogant, on the ground, under his feet. And then I make myself equal to everybody else. So therefore, the more you make the prostration, the more humble you need to become. Less arrogant you need to become. The more you take refuge, feel proud of yourself that you have taken refuge. Therefore, everything is okay. Gain the confidence. Gaining confidence, but at the same time, be humble. Less arrogant. This is the main purpose of taking refuge. As a beginner practitioner, senior practitioners, super senior practitioners, or top senior practitioners, or even, I don't know, even Buddha himself. This is the main thing. If this is not happening, then there's a wrong in the practice. There's always like that. There's a wrong in the practice. Not in the practice, but how you apply this practice in you. There's a wrong. So, confident and humble. Taking refuge, this should be the result. If this is not happening, wrong. Like that. And then after that one, once you take refuge, then there is always a package come, It's not easy to take refuge, because once you take refuge, then it's like you in the internet, when you sign, you don't read anything, but then okay, then the package come, then some virus little bit come, and this come, and all comes. Now the package. Now package is that what you have to do, and what you shouldn't do, what you should respect once you take the refuge. So according to the traditionally, once you take refuge, what you need to give up? First, there are 9 advice. What you need to give up, what you need to apply, and what you need to do, which is very much similar to. Like that, there are 3 advice. Each one has a three things that you need to do, you don't do, and you need to apply. Okay. So first is what you need to avoid, or what you shouldn't do. So here it says, once you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, from that moment, you can just give up taking refuge to other sources, which himself or herself need a refuge. So this is more traditional. So traditionally, we always say you doesn't need to take a refuge to Hindu gods and all like that, because they themselves need the ultimate refuge. So why should you take this one once we have a very much once refuge? This is what Dalai Lama always used to say, because he always say, if you are a Christian and come to me to listen my teaching, you should be a very, very good Christian. Don't try to be a Christian Buddhist. If you are a Buddhist, don't try to be a Buddhist Christian, because it will complicate the life. Because when you have a true refuge, this is what yesterday I said. This Songsa Khenpo Tseten example. You are a curry, and then 5 cook. One cook come turn here, another cook down right, other cook comes do it like that. At the end, curry is spoiled. This could happen. So therefore, it is always important in Buddhism that when you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, then you take refuge to everything which is linked with it. Don't take refuge to which is not linked, because this will give you a doubt. Okay, it's not nothing to do with yours and mine, but finally it is you are confident we are talking in the refuge. Then once you take other, then you have a doubt in the mind. The moment you have a doubt creates fear. Fear creates the scrambling. When it's scrambling, suffering is there, pain is there. It's again, you have to search the third source of refuge. It's comes like that. So therefore, here in the text it says, once you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, you can have a confidence on him. You doesn't need other. Like that. If I try to put it in a very simple way, like that. You know, I don't know if I should talk or not. For example, in the Kaju, these two karma past thing, how much difficulties I can imagine when I imagine about their students. So difficult. Forget about Kaju. Even Nyingmapa has to make a site at that moment, in those times, We don't know now where we should be. We should be in the this or that. Where Nyingma, we are not. It's not our problem, but we are somehow linked, and we have to make site. There is always a site now. It's difficult. I can imagine how much difficult most of the students have been through. Like that. When these two things happen, it's always difficulties. And unless if they are okay with each other, like we have two Dinyo Rinpoche, no problem. They are okay with both. We have 5 Cancer Rinpoche, no problem. They are okay with it. Unless they are okay, then everything is okay. We have how many Kongtuls? We have almost 5 Kongtuls. They are all okay. When everything is okay, fine. But when it's not okay, then the student have to make a site. This or that. That's the thing. Then it gives you the doubt and all like that. It's difficult. I don't know if I should say it here or not, but our point is about if you mess up, then confusion is here, doubt is here, then there's no longer refuge. Okay. And then this is the first one should avoid, and the second one should avoid is once you take refuge to Dharma. Dharma, or in Tibetan we call it Chö. Chö means cutting. Something that cuts. What it cuts? What? Emotions. It cuts what? Harmful thinking. Therefore, Dharma is something that cuts this harmful thinking. Therefore, once you take refuge to Dharma, then you should be much more respected for other beings. I'm not saying you should be vegetarian. Myself is not vegetarian. But you should give a respect to others. You have to respect other life. You have to give a compliment. And then don't harm others. That's the main thing that one shouldn't, harming others one shouldn't do. And then once you take refuge, then you don't make a buddy with a non-believer. This is too much literal, so it's not like that. You don't mess up while you are in practice. You can eat together, that's okay. Go to cinema together, that's okay. But when a husband is Christian, wife is Buddhist, or wife is Muslim, they are buddy, they are husband and wife, they spend their life together. But when it comes to the practice, I have seen mostly the people who successfully live together has respected each other's religion. You know, wife, she does Christian, so she is purely Christian. She does not involve much in the husband, does not give pressure. When husband is doing his Muslim things, and he does not pressure the wife so much, unless she is converted. Okay? So when it is respected, everything is going good. But it is not respected, you pressure one to each other, then it's mess up, it's masala. And when there's masala, the practice is not going to end up very well. So therefore here it says, don't mess up with your practice of people who has a different faith. Don't pressure and don't mess up these things. You know, like I said yesterday, like a Rime logic. You mess up. You bring something beautiful from Kaju, you bring something beautiful from Nyingma, you bring something beautiful from Sakya, and you bring something beautiful from Giluk, and you announce, I'm a Rime practitioner. But you are the most extreme practitioners, because you refuse what you don't like. You just bring what you like. You know, so therefore, it will harm the view of the these four schools. They feel like, what's going on? You know, then it disturbs. So therefore, once we take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, it always says, don't mess up this thing. You know, like that. Because at the end, it is you are again confident. Finally, you will lose your confidence. Again, refuge is gone. Okay? The bottom line is, the more you take refuge, the more confident you gain. The more you confident you gain, the more you feel like you are secure. And then there's possibility of arrogant again. Okay? So these three things one need to avoid when one takes refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Okay? And then there are three things that okay, where it is. Yeah, now there are three things one need to apply is that once you take refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, it says giving respect to whatever which represent Buddha, like Buddha's statues, you know, you just give it respect. These things is more practical things, you know. Usually in traditional in the East we say, once you take refuge, we always say, at least once you go home, even you are not a good practitioner, it's okay, but you make a 7 bowl offering in your house every day. You just need is put a water from right to left, and that's it. 7 water, and it's not expensive at all. So in the East we always say, if once you take refuge, at least do this one. That represent that you have a lot of respect to Buddha, to all like that. You know? And if you can make 3 prostration every day, that is also a part of and this is what we have to do. Okay? So therefore here it says, whatever which represent Buddha, give a respect to it. And then once you take refuge to Dharma, it says everything whatever represent Dharma. Usually in traditionally we say, in Tibetan we say Sungi Toto Kumashak. That means don't put the Buddha's statue on the scripture text, we say, on the textbook. We are not allowed to put Buddha's statue. We think like it's respected, but in the Tibetan Buddhism perspective, it's disrespect. If you put Buddha's statue on the textbook, it is insult, because Dharma is more important than Buddha's statue. Like that. So imagine when you walk, you know, we just walk from the book like that. I've seen many Western people doing like that. In Tibetan, it is like a sky is falling down, you know. So like that. So respecting anything that syllables which represent Dharma. That means usually in Tibetan we say every letter, whether it is English, French, Arabian or whatever, Sanskrit or whatever, Tibetan, it is always said you give a respect, if possible. If not, then something that really the Buddhist Sanskrit or the Tibetan letters, it's always said that way. And then when you respect to take refuge to the Sangha, it always said that you have to give respect to everything that represent Sangha. That means red color, yellow color, and then blue color, and then white is not that much counted, because in India those time white is a lay people's sign, according to this one. But once we include the yogi, then you have to give respect to the white color also. And then according to the tradition of Buddhism understanding, it says that in the very, very future, when the human life is, the average of human life is like a 20 to 30, our life is now, life average will be decreased by what to say, generation by generation. So it says that in some point our human life average will be like 30 to 40. That time in our world, this more concepting, I think. But anyway, in our world, the color red, blue, and yellow will disappear. People will fight for this color. I've watched a movie about water. People, water was the money in the future because there's no water. So just now we throw just water like that here and there. But in one movie, it's water was the money because there's no water. So one this much milliliter, you can get a coffee and all like that. Coffee or clothes or something buying. You pay the water, you get it. So in those times, this color will be like a money, very expensive, and they cannot get it. Whatever left over, it is said also, the God also come inside, involved to take this out. So therefore, this three color was, according to Buddha's vision of the future, he said this three color was will be very important. Okay. It's just a concept thing. So anyway, it says you give a respect on these things. So these three things is what one need to do in general. Okay. Yeah, these are also in general it's important, but maybe not that much important as the third one. So third one is very similar three. So the similar three is that the moment you take refuge to Buddha, so who represents Buddha at our in our day-to-day life now? That is our root master, teachers, who give you the spiritual practice, who guide you, give you initiations, teachings, transmissions. These are the teachers. It says you have to give a lot of respect to those kind of master. This was a very similar thing that we need to do. These are very important. And then with a respect to Dharma, it says what you need to do is something very similar to Buddha, is that the teaching of the teacher, the advice of the teacher, and the heart advice of the teacher. That if we apply, it can be very, very helpful, because spiritual teacher, they have only one purpose. They are not here to want your money. They are not here to want your cars, house, and everything. They have only one thing in their mind, is that they want to give a piece of the experience which they have might help you, and then they want to share you. That was the entire goal of teachers. So therefore, teachers share their experience of how to deal with a situation, how to deal with one's own emotions, how to deal to develop our inner quality, how to make oneself realize about the nature of the Buddha. These are the experience that teachers have, that might help the beings free from the suffering. That was their main goal. So therefore, when they give the instructions like that, you respect and try to apply it. It will be very much beneficial. That's the point here. Like that. So it says, therefore, whatever the teacher says, this thing, then you respect. And then, as a similar to the sangha, then you give a lot of respect to your collect. You say collect, the practitioner friend, dharma friend. Lot of respect. Keep space. It's not so much competitive. No need. And then, as much as possible, give respect, give love, and then give a lot of compliment to each other. Wow, like Khenpo Tseten, during the time of those times, Khenpo Tseten, Chole Rinpoche, and who is who? Patu Rinpoche, I think. Yes, these three. Patu Rinpoche, Khenpo Tseten, and Chole Rinpoche. These three. They are very good friend, buddy friend. And they were very popular master of those times. It could be very competitive, but it's not like that. They are buddy. One day, Chole Rinpoche, in his vision, he see a green Tara sadhana, which many centers now used to do. This green Tara sadhana, which is called it the three thank you sadhana. Lexo, three thank you sadhana. He discovered that one. He had a vision of Tara, and Tara give him this sadhana, and he said, a very short one. And then what he did, he said to, he showed to Khenpo, Tara give me this one. And Khenpo was, wow, you received this one, I'm very happy. Now I encourage you and I request you, you should write down. They are buddy. So this is more giving compliment. If you look in the Tibet, Nyingma and Kaju. In the West now, this is Nyingma, this Kaju, it happened little bit. This Giluk. And then within the Nyingma, this is this master, this is this master. We are like that. But in Tibet, what to say? If you read the biography of many Tibetan masters, you will see like this master is having breakfast in the Kaju monastery, and lunch in the Sacha monastery, and dinner in the Nyingma monastery. And next day it is other way around: breakfast in Nyingma monastery, lunch in Kaju monastery, and they are so like that. But still, they respect each other's practice, but they are very much buddy. It was like that. Especially Kaju and Nyingma. Kaju and Nyingma is always considered one. It's not different in Nyingma, in Tibet. Now little bit coming a little bit like that, but in Tibet it was never like that. So therefore, it is very important within the Sangha one give a compliment to each other, respect. So this will feel warmth. If one cannot give this one, then this humble question is a long time gone. That when you take refuge, two things need to happen: confident and then humbleness. Humbleness, we say? Humbleness. This two is not there, that's a little bit missed wrong in there. Wow. So like that, this 9 rules you need to respect. It's very easy to respect, actually. When you take refuge, 3 things you need to avoid, 3 things you need to apply, and 3 things you need to apply which is very much similar. So like that, that's 9. So this is how refuge finish. So usually when you take refuge, your face should be very much smiley, feel secure. Even you walk, you feel confident and be humble. It should always be there. Look to every master. A lot of quality you will find. Okay, so this is a refuge. Now we are finished the refuge. The refuge is done. Now we will go with the Boddhicitta. Okay. So mm, the Boddhicitta practice. Mm, it is also said a practice of Bodhisattva. Mm. So before we practice Boddhicitta, we need to understand what is Bodhisattva. So uh, what one need to understand what is the definition of Bodhisattva. You know, we have seen many YouTube videos, people reacting like bodhisattvas in the train. You see this one, huh? The people one is laughing and making other people all laugh in the train because people are so serious, you know, nobody's talking. So therefore, one need to understand what is bodhisattva. In Tibetan we call it Chanchu Sempa, enlightened. Bodhi is enlightened. Now sattva is a big question. So what could be the sattva for you? Now I'm asking to you.
I know. I don't know an answer.
Okay, anyway, sattva means a courageous.
Mm.
Courageous. Because when you try to apply the practice of Mahayana or Bodhicitta, you are applying directly antidote towards anger. If you look to the three schools, we have a Theravada school, Mahayana school, and Vajrayana school. If you look to these three school way of practicing, look to Theravada, how they live. Theravada is more like a very simplicity. They avoid many things, non-attachment. Oh, what should I need? What is my share? If my share is just only a, a, like a 15 like 100 gram of rice a day. This is only my share, not much. That's enough for me to survive. This just need. So I don't want more. This simplicity. Technology, not necessary. Materialistic, I'm not that one. So therefore simplicity was their main goal of the Theravada. So therefore their main practice is to get rid of the attachment. Now Bodhisattva is different. Bodhisattva's perspective is not that one. Bodhisattva is, you want a car? Ah yes, yes, I want a car. You want the money? Yes, I want the money. You don't want the money? No, no, I don't want the money. Bodhisattva is accepting everything and rejecting everything. This is Bodhisattva. So therefore their perspective is nothing to do with attachment. Of course, it is something, it's much to do with attachment, but directly it is nothing to do with it. Because Bodhisattva is more about how to put antidote against anger and hatred which we have. Because the more anger you have, the more hatred you have in your mind, you cannot love the person. You cannot like the person. Therefore, you cannot do anything for other beings. This was their main obstacle of the Bodhisattva. So that's why Bodhisattva apply, the Mahayana practitioners apply against the anger. Because anger is also one of the root of our we being in the samsara. Now look to the Vajrayana perspective. What they practice. Vajrayana does not talk much about attachment, because you can look to the altar of the Vajrayana. So much colorful with gold. It looks like a Catholic, what to say, church with a Pope up there, and then there's his eminence, and then this incense, and then this color, and then gold. No, Tibetan Buddhism look like that. They are the most person who want more, it seems like, look, good. And in Theravada temple, you see nothing, here. And then in the Vajrayana also, we doesn't talk much about the love and kind and compassion. It is basic thing, but we doesn't talk. But in the Vajrayana, we always talk about the omnipresent. In French language, pleine conscience, awareness, clarity. This is what Vajrayana used to talk. Pure perceptions. These are the Vajrayana terms. So therefore, what is their goal? All this making something pure is necessary for the beginner, because beginner mentality is that if the teacher has a miracles, this teacher will have a lot of followers. This is how the mankind works. If this teacher has a something different, then a lot of followers. This is how this mankind works. So therefore, attractiveness is very important for the being, to bring them into the practice. So therefore, clear light, already the pure perceptions. This is what Buddhism, Vajrayana Buddhism talk about. So therefore, it is also true actually. In reality, we have been blind by all this, what do you say, corruption. These are all corruption. You say corruption?
Yeah.
We are corrupting. Making offering to mandala like this, you make a mandala like that to me, to give you teaching, is a corruption. You give me a mandala under table, so that I can give you something. These are all symbolic. So from Vajrayana, everything is about symbolic. It does not mean literally that way. So it's more about clarity. He will say something, but meaning will be something else. Because it can be very much well interpreted in both sides. Because the ignorance will want to interpret his version, and wisdom will like to interpret other version. And Vajrayana clearly explained about the ignorance version is wrong, and wisdom version is right. Therefore, clear light, pure perceptions, this all becomes important, because whatever reason we are in samsara, the main reason is just ignorance. So look to the Vajrayana, it's more about the pure perception and the wisdom thing. It's against the antidote of, it's against ignorance. So therefore, three school of student of Buddha, they all, Buddha has taught the root of samsara is ignorance, attachment, and anger or hatred. And then three school is completely based on these three ideas. Very simple as that. So now, since here we are talking about the Boddhicitta, it's mainly the Bodhisattva's practice. So therefore, Bodhisattva need to control his anger and hatred. If he cannot control that one, then he cannot help the entire being. Why? Because the beings are very much irritating people, and very much stupid people and stubborn people. If Bodhisattva want to help, if I want to help her, she will accept my help, and then she will later accuse me for some other reason. Now what happened to me is I get so upset and angry, I feel like I have given my all my capacity and my body and soul to help her, but she accused me. I get upset, I can get depressed. But Bodhisattva cannot let this happen. So therefore, when you Bodhisattva need to deal with the beings, because beings who are good, Bodhisattva does not need to deal with them. Bodhisattva always deal with the people who has difficulties. Now difficulties, people has a different way of expressing their difficulties, and sometimes it will give you so much upset, you know. You tell once, don't understand, you tell two, don't understand, you tell three times, don't understand, and you get upset. This happened to the Bodhisattva. If you are not, then you give up the Bodhisattva vow. So therefore, we call it the courageous Bodhisattva. And then the reason we gave three reasons. Dromangi tha, jakawe yun, kalmangi yun, jakawe ne. Three things. Dromangi tha means you are so much courageous that even to help, you are so courageous that the object of your to whom you need to help is countess, but you don't mind. You go there. You know, I mind to go to I don't mind to come here, but I mind to go to Iraq, for example. But Bodhisattva is not like that. They go. They don't care. Need to be a lot of big heart. Yeah. That's called the countless. You are so much courageous because you can go to the countless being. Brahmangita. Jakavene. That now difficulties. You want to help this way, but people who are expecting help want other way around. It doesn't want exactly what you want, and it doesn't match, but you need to fix it. And that person doesn't want to fix it. I watched like this TV reality of American TV reality of the cook, you know, Chef Ramsay. You know this kitchen, hell kitchen.
Yeah.
And he wants this way, and the kitchen owner doesn't want that way. And it's so difficult. And then he gives me so much encouragement. Chef Ramsay, he's a bad spoken, and his language is so much, but still he knows how to deal with the restaurant owners. So Bodhisattva is like that. He knows what he wants, and then he knows all the technique to deal with it. And people who he is dealing is not stupid either. They are very intelligent, and they know how to be clever, tricky. So this kind of people you need to have. And it is not working, and it can give you so much discourage, and you feel like I cannot do. But this is big thing, but small thing. Within a sangha, if there's a problem, what role are you going to play? Within the family, if there's a problem, what role are you going to play? Are you going to feel depressed? Are you going to feel weak? Or are you going to apply this bodhicitta and then make peace to everything? From small thing to big thing. This is how one starts the practice. So that's why Jakavine. And then Kalmangi Yun. Now, Bodhisattva can go distance, even if he has to go to hell. Just for helping one person, he can endure all these difficulties, because to reach there, he has to face many difficulties. Maybe he has no money, he is starved, he could die, but he will go with all the difficulties facing, just to help. This kind of courage is one need. But if all these kind of courages can happen to the Bodhisattva, if he apply the practice of what? Boddhicitta. This is what the idea is. So the more you apply Boddhicitta practice, the more you are an open person to accept everything. You are more flexible person. You can be, you know, if you look to the difference with a monk, if you go to Thailand and you see the monk, have you been to Thailand? Huh? Nobody been? Thailand. You see the monk, Thai monk, and then Thai monk never smile. The and he beg, the people who give the food. It's like a German, There's no German here. Huh? You are not German, huh? Are you German? Okay. Once I was in Thailand, because and I was in this Tibetan robe, and then I went to Thai monk. Inside the temple, there was one Thai senior monk doing meditation, and also looking to me like that. I looked to him, I smiled. He, suddenly, I lost my smile. Thai monks are like that little bit. It doesn't mean they are sad. Huh? If you go to the Japan Zen monk against a wall, and you look to the Tibetan monk, Tibetan Rinpoches, they are crazy like a monkey. They jump here and there. They can do whatever. They are more flexible, actually. Because of this Boddhicitta practice, nothing is important in their life. The story of the mandala will tell, Mandala, the monks, they make for months and months and months. And then they do a 7 days of practice. After 7 days of practice, their months of hard work is thrown in the water, like nothing has happened. This is a Tibetan mentality. So for this reason, Tibetan, if you look, it's more like a flexible. They can do here, they can do there. Of course, the Tibetan people and the Sherpa people, and then sometimes when the monks do little, they criticize, oh, monk, you cannot do this and that. But within the monks, monkhood, inside the monk, they are more flexible. They can adjust anything. So when you practice bodhicitta, it's more flexible. So therefore, the more you practice bodhicitta, the more generous you can become, and you should become. If it's not becoming, that's wrong. The more you practice bodhicitta, the more, honest you should become. The more you practice bodhicitta, the more patient you become. Patient means you forget the bad situation happened with you. You forgive the bad situation happened by somebody else to you, done to you. You forgive that one. And then combine together, forget and forgive, you combine together. What happens next? You move on. These 3 mantras is very important. Forget, forgive, and move on. Of course, then there is a bonus. You sign with love. When this 4 is applied together, that is a patient. Perfect. The more bodhicitta you practice, these 4 you need to become. Are you ready to forgive? If somebody done a big mistake, are you ready to forget that one? If something wrong happened to you, and are you ready to move on? Even these 2 things happen, and these 2 things are always with you. Are you ready to move on? And especially, are you ready to give love to those things? Are you ready or not? Bodhicitta apply, tell us to do those things. This one, very important in the day-to-day life. And then what happened? After that one, the more you practice bodhicitta, then the more diligent you can have. You are more encouraged. Of course, the more you like it, the more you have love, like a teenager, teenage girls, like 16 years old girls, when they are in love, they will listen to nobody. They can do the dumbest act because they are in love. When you are in love, you see nothing but just love, and for love you can do everything. Right? The same thing when you are in love for the beings, you can do everything whatever they ask, and then you will not even get tired. So therefore, you are so much diligent. This happened, and then concentration. Now, concentration means here mostly here the concentration means you treat every being equality. You give a lot of respect. And then you just not give any reason. Yeah, everybody equal. Equal, everybody deserve the same love. And also, you will try to understand other people. You try to put your feet on the other people's shoes. And then you will understand what is his problem and what is his need. And I will understand his situation, therefore I understand him. Therefore, I will try to do my best of what he needs. This is what, once practice Boddhicitta, this happens. And then after that, in the wisdom, when you practice, then the reason why you are helping, everything change. You know? For example, if there's one accident happening, what you will say? If somebody asks you a question, why do you help that person? Maybe you will give many reasons. Maybe you say, because I know this person, this is a friend of my father, therefore I help. This is a condition. You know? If it is not your father's friend, so you are not going to help. This question comes. It's a condition. Why do you help this person? Oh, because I know him. Condition. Why do you help? Because I like him. It's a condition. Why do you help? Because I love him. It's condition. But if you don't love him, so you are not going to help. These are all conditions. These reasons are all conditioned reasons. So therefore, it cannot be unconditioned. The final reason is no reason. Why do you help? I don't know. It just, what to say, instinctively, you see?
Instinctively.
No, yesterday we used the words.
Instinct.
Instinct, yeah? Yeah. The instinct, my instinct say help. It automatically come up. I don't know what's the reason. I thought that person needed help, and I help. It's a very simple reason. You know, whoever need help, I just help. That people does not need help, they no need to help. So therefore, the reason is very simple. Not because I like, because I am always a vegetarian. Therefore, I like these things. You know, you just need all this substitute reason. The reason is very simple. I help because I happen to be there. There happen to be accident, and in my place, anybody can do the same. You know, this is a very simple reason. This is a wisdom reason. So this kind of reason come at the end. Why Bodhisattva help? Because from the Bodhisattva perspective, the entire being need help, and in his place, he feel like any Bodhisattva will do the same. He does not have any other reason. So when you have no other reason, you have no reason, and just doing it is perfect. It becomes unconditioned. Relatively talking. Ultimately talking, you have no reason at all, because from your perspective, it is there's nothing. It's empty. So whatever you give 100%. You don't give 99% and keep one to yourself, because there's no yourself. Yourself is empty. So you give 100. You know, you doesn't hold anything, because from the ultimate, the emptiness point of view, there's nothing. So like that. So this is what, when we practice, just now I'm making a publicity, okay? Publicity of if you practice Boddhicitta, what you could become. It's a publicity. It's very important to make a publicity at the beginning, so that you might think, oh, I should give up this Vajrayana practice and I should practice Boddhicitta. This idea can come, but it's very good. This is how the basic thing is started. But of course, Vajrayana is other Vajrayana practice is a bonus. You can take it. Right. So therefore, the conclusion, the more you practice Boddhicitta, the conclusion is how you should become. That's the conclusion. Sometimes we call it being human, being lovable, and being likable. That was the thing. The more you practice this one, you become more lovable by everybody and likable by everybody. It's like you become like a small white or black dog. and you go in the park. The dog is so cute, you know. You go with if you have no girlfriends, you know, man, you know, or woman, if you have no boyfriend, and if you are single for a long time, buy a dog, a beautiful, cute, likable dog. You go to the park, many men will approach you to talk, you know. Oh, you have a beautiful dog, and then start to communicate with you. Am I saying truth or not?
Yeah, yes.
I should be a marriage
Counselor.
Relationship.
No, meeting you know.
Agents. Meeting agents.
Yeah, I should be that one. Because a dog is so likable, everything around becomes likable. Okay, so therefore, the more you practice Boddhicitta, you become more likable because whatever you express is coming with love. And then who does not like that one? Everybody like when you give something with love, you know? Especially in our day-to-day life, when people look little bit like stupid, not that much idea, intelligent. I know very well because I am very much well treated in the West because I am an Asian people, and Western people know Asian people does not know many things. And then if you go to some office, you know how I do is I go to the office and I just not I don't do everything myself. I just go and I say, oh, I don't know much about this one, how to do, you know. And then the Western people, they like to be a boss, you know. Oh, you don't know this one? Oh, I can do this for you, and this you should do. Everything is done by them, you know. But if you do this in India, you go like you don't know nothing. They will say, you know nothing? Ah, stay out. In India, you have to do like you know everything. Then they are afraid of you, you know, and then they listen. But in the West, I know, is you have to act like you know nothing. Then everything will be done by them, you know. Do like this, huh? Everything will be done by them. It's like it. It's just, you know. This is a Western mentality. Huh? This is really Western mentality because in the West, one person does not help other person because they all think they are intelligent than other one. But if you make like you are not intelligent and like that, there are many people want to help you. It's always like this. It's a tips for you. So like that, the entire idea is that the more you practice, the more likable and lovable you become. So that's is the main idea of practice. And then when you are this one, then you can communicate with the people. People will like to talk with you. The more they talk with you, the more you can express what you want to tell. This is how one can communicate. This idea. That is why the entire Buddhist practice, Buddha's practice becomes a mind training practice. Bodhicitta practice is called known as a mind training practice. So in general, the entire Buddhist practice can be a mind training like that. But like Four Noble Truth practice, usually we don't call them a mind training. So mind training is mainly the Mahayana teaching which Buddha has taught. That becomes the mind training practice. So it was given by Buddha himself, and then it was the tradition was kept by his student from generation to generation. In the first century, second century after Buddha, after Jesus. What's it? How is it? 100 years later.
1 century later?
In the 1 century later after BC, no, AD. Yeah, 1 century AD. Then Nagarjuna was born. And Nagarjuna introduced his understanding of mind training practice. And then 4th century later, then Asanga was born. a great master, he introduced this mind training in his own version. Nagarjuna's version was more for intelligent people, and Asanga's version was more emotional people. So uh, uh, this two is completely based on intellectual and emotional. And then there were later many mind training practice has been introduced by many Indian and Tibetan masters, such as like a great master Atisha. This Kadampa was very extraordinary time in those time in Tibet in the 13th centuries. Very extraordinary mind training. For example, Atisha. Atisha was following one of his master called Dharmarakshita. And Dharmarakshita was a very much emptiness meditator. So therefore, he is more intellectual, if we put it that way. Or he is mostly wisdom thing. Therefore, Atisha was more emotional, Atisha is very much non-vegetarian, vegetarian, feminist, maybe what I'm saying, something emotional things, Atisha was like that. And his teacher, Dharmarakshita, was not at all like that. His teacher was vegetarian, okay, good. Non-vegetarian, okay, good. Feminist, okay, good. Gay, okay, good. This happening, teacher was like that. It's nothing bother. But Atisha was very much sentimental person. But he followed his teacher Dharmarakshita for 12 years, and he received many emptiness teaching. But his mind was somewhere else, Atisha. And then one day Dharmarakshita told him, okay, my dear student, I think that I cannot give you what you want. This is me. I'm like this. My perspective is nothing is important in my life. I'm like that. So I cannot give you much. I want you to go to Indonesia to follow another master called Dharmakirti. So he went when he heard the name of Dharmakirti, he was so happy, and then he went to Indonesia to follow his teaching. And when he reached in Indonesia after many months, so he went to see Dharmakirti, and Dharmakirti was there giving teaching in a big public, and he is also very much emotional master, on love, kind, all like that. And the moment he entered the door, there was one lady come with one baby on her head, and she said, "Oh, Dharmakirti, last 10 months or 1 year ago, you sleep with me. This is your child." Because they want to bring, there are some people who don't like, so bring his name down. But Dharmakirti was, this is my son. The people who don't like thought his reaction will change, Dharmakirti, this is my son. Oh, very nice. You can be a good monk. Okay. Look, this is my son in the public. He will become a very good monk. Very humble. And then he give it here. And then while he said this one, and suddenly this lady feels so much regret of why she is a very good humble man that she just accused. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I was paid by somebody else that asked me to tell this one. I'm very sorry." And he said, this is not my son. You can take it. It can be a very good son for you. He was like that. And suddenly when Atisha saw him, he said, "Wow, what a humble master." So he followed almost like 6 years with Dharmakirti in Indonesia. And after 6 years, something like that, he said to Atisha, "Oh, you are my student, best student. I want you to go to Tibet, because Tibet is where your karmic connection is." And then he sent to Tibet. And then he come from Malaysia and cross, and then he reached to Tibet. And then once he reached in Tibet, then he has a he has got a one. Now I'm going with the stories, huh? So here it's okay, no stories. Then he has got the one of the best student called Domtenpa. Now Atisha's best student is Domtenpa, but Atisha has also three other students: Potowa, Chengawa, and Shariwa. Three. So four students, but I separated them because these three students is also a student of Domtempa. So his main student was Domtempa. Now Domtempa is somebody always like cherishing other, and myself is just nothing. You know, this always he used to practice. And then one day Domtempa was going to see in Chengawa's monastery in very long, and then he's very simple monk. You know, simplicity was his main his philosophy, and cherishing other was his philosophy. And he is carrying a sack on his back himself. He walked, no attendant. On the way, he met one yogi, you know, and yogi said, "Oh, my friend, where are you going?" "I'm going to the south." "Oh, we can go together." Like that. Yes, yogi said. And yogi, "Oh, you are a little bit young. Can you carry my things?" You know. And he said, "Oh, it's okay, I can carry." Domtempa carry all these things. You know. And then on the way, not far from the monastery, and they saw a lot of monks, you know, in the line like that. And the yogi said, who are those monks?" And he said, "Yeah, maybe they are waiting for me." And the yogi said, "Who are you?" "I'm Domtempa." You should have told me before," like that, you know. So this is how Domtempa used to live. Very simplicity, and then cherishing others. And he said, "Oh, don't mind. I always respect yogi, and I have got an opportunity to serve you because yogi is for me. It's like a good Rinpoche, you know, like that. You know. So this was the Domtempa practicing mind training. Now they have a three students: Shariwa, Chengawa, and Potowa. And then one day Atisha sent, these three was doing meditation, and Atisha sent one of his students to look these three students, how are they doing in attendance. And attendants went there, and they after a while they come back and said to Atisha, said, "All three are fine, but I could not find the Potowa, no, Shariwa." And Atisha said, "What? Where's Shariwa? I find either he was in the corner, just where there's small, like he was hidden there." And then Atisha went there and asked, "Why are you hiding there?" And he said, Potowa said, "I'm just trying to practice the simplicity. Why should I need big like that? I just stay in the very corner, just to be very simple." You know? So this is how Shariwa practiced the simplicity. Domtempa is cherishing other. Shariwa is simplicity. And then there is a Chengawa. Chengawa is about was doing one day doing retreat, and he never come out from the retreat cave. He was always hiding there. And then one day his attendant asked him, "Why are you not going to the village and all like that?" And he said, "Oh, I cannot go to the village because if I go to the village, I will meet people, I will see things, and then these are the situations. Situations are very strong that can make me emotional. So his entire practice is that controlling his anger, jealousy in the cave. So therefore, Chengawa's practice becomes more about how to control the emotions, how to tame all this angerness. This was his main practice. Therefore, controlling one's emotion is also part of Boddhicitta practice. I hope you get the point, because why I'm telling these stories, because every master which I told has a different perspective of applying the practice. So therefore, you can apply all those in the Boddhicitta practice, and it should be like that. And then there was from the Chengawa has one student called Langri Thangpa. Now, Langri Thangpa's main practice is Tonglen, giving and taking practice. Because Langri Thangpa, in his entire life, he smiled only 2 times. His face is very, Tibet is very cold, so it's already dark, and he's black also. So one day his attendant asked to him, "Why are you so serious, not smiling like that, like sad people?" He asked to his teacher, and he said, "Oh, how can I smile?" While, because he's practicing Tonglen. Tonglen means his object is suffering. When he sees every entire being is suffering, how can I smile? I cannot smile. He said, "But I smiled 2 times in my life. One time is that he was practicing in his room. On the altar, he has a big diamond like this round. And then there was one rat come, and suddenly rat was so much interested in this diamond. And then this rat tried to push this diamond, but it's too big that he could not push. And he went back, and he called another friend a rat. So 2 rats started to push this one there, and then when they reached to the hole, the hole is small and the diamond is big, and they are pushing here and there like that. They could not manage. He said that time he laughed once. Now second time when he laughed was he was doing a meditation near the lake, just not just above like that, but it was winter, so the lake is already ice. People can walk. So there was one pottery. Who make the pots?
Mm-hmm.
The pottery is walking from there, being very much careful, and just next to where Langri Thangpa, he fall down. And he tried to get up, fall down. He tried to get up, fall down. Suddenly this man thought, I am not. He was little upset, but he thought, I am not as upset as Langri Thangpa, because Langri Thangpa faces always look like upset, And he said to himself, I can get up from this ice. I am not upset as Langri Thangpa. When he said vocally, Langri Thangpa heard this one. He was just above, and he was so laughing up there. So this is Langri Thangpa. His entire practice is Tonglen. Okay. Like that. So I think now I stop the. So like that, there are some practice is more like a cherishing other. There are some practice is more simplicity, being humble. There are some practice is more about controlling your emotions. There are some practice is more about giving and taking. Give the love, and then take their suffering. So therefore, there are like a 7-point mind training is there. Therefore, like Langri Thangpa has a 8-point mind training, 8 stanza, like that. And then there are many commentaries based on 7-point and the 8 stanza. There are many commentaries exist. These are all mind training. So for this reason, whatever practice Boddhicitta you practice, you cannot avoid the goal of this master have. Simplicity you should have. The more you practice, you should cherish other. You have to give so much. Because sometimes it seems like if we look to the human being's character, it seems like we are potentially not a good person. It looks like. Historically, if we look, how many wars has been fought? Just in the name of what? I don't know. God's name happened. My country, your country names happen. My family, your family's name happen. My religion, your religion name is happening. And my caste, your caste name has happened. Many. We fought so much war. We killed so much fight. And then we consider we are as a human being. And who doesn't look like us, we give the name what? Animal. We are animal actually, but we give them the name animal. We are animal, but we try to make ourselves something better, So we say we are a human, they are animal. This happened because these are all arrogant acts, and then we are we fight for the human right, we fight for the woman's right, but we don't fight for the animal's right, for example, because they cannot talk, they cannot speak, but we are that much bad person. So potentially, if we look like we are potentially a selfish people, selfish being. The question is, are we really a potentially selfish? That's the biggest question. So the answer is no. The answer is we potentially we were a very every entire being is having a Buddha nature. For this reason, we potentially we have that root or that curse that can manifest a lot of good things. We do have that one because we have a Buddha nature, Tathagata Garbha, and all like that. This is also main reason why Buddha taught Buddha nature. That one reason is that one, that give people encourage that you can do it. You can do it like I did it. You can do it because we and you have I and you have the same thing, that is Buddha nature. Anybody can do it. This is what what to say Buddhism is saying. This is the reason in those times many of the Buddhists that time they become Buddhists. That time we all are same age almost. And some are younger. I am the oldest maybe. How old?
48.
Yeah, we are almost same. Like a few years older you, but we are all same generation. But there are like 80 years old Buddhists. Those times they were very much tough to become a Buddhist in the Christian society. So when they choose, when I ask many questions to them, their always answer is that Buddhism, talking about the Buddha nature, that's something you have in you. That was the main reason most of the senior Buddhist practitioners, they give the answer this one. Because in the Catholic, Christian, Protestant, they don't tell much about this one. In some Christian, even the women are the ribs of the God, not the soul. Some I don't know which some Christian they believe that way. The man, the God give the soul. And to please the man, then they want to they need to make a woman. So from the ribs of the God, they made a woman. So therefore, woman has no soul. And then one day the woman fight that it should be done. So then after that the Christian declare, oh, woman has a soul. And then now one day, now you have a dog, and you want to when you go to heaven, you want your dog to go to heaven because dog doesn't have a soul. Now you are fighting for the dog's soul. So now some of the Christians they are saying dog has a soul. But in Buddhism, everybody has a Buddha nature that can be united, and that is a protection. That is the what to say, encouraging things. So because we have this one, then when one apply the Boddhicitta practice, it is possible to develop those all potential which we have. So now we talk about the practice now. Okay, so maybe a little bit pause and then we talk about the practice.
Nandra Krichung Lana Chukuna, Kotaya Shirupa Jamlepa, Sasana Jochumbunyane, Metuki Tiki Osisho, Kiava Pinto Yanda Lama Tandre Metriki, Perlalunchu, Satana Kuyete Rato, Uja Shanki Kopana Tosho, Om Nesrata Jamaya, Monopalaya, Resata Dinapa, Tishilimaba, Supakayama Baba, Supakayama Baba, Anarakama Baba, Soroshiki Mepayas, Polakamash, Tiam Jiam Guru. Oh Bhagavan, Chava Tata Kataka Chapameng Sabenji Kavana Samaya Sato.
So now, I think it depends on how much time we have. We'll try to talk about how to practice this Boddhicitta practice based on Nagarjuna tradition, Asanga tradition, and then maybe Vajrayana tradition. These three we are going to talk. It's more. It will be more meditative explanation now. Okay. So, if we are practicing based on Asanga, Nagarjuna tradition, so how to practice the Bodhicitta? Because Nagarjuna's entire idea is more about intellectual, but not this intellectual what we are talking. More about wisdom thing. For him is more about nothing is important. Based on that one. It's emotional people is always everything is important. Oh, what happened? What's going on? This emotional people. A wise man, wise woman don't do much testing. Oh, this happened. Oh, okay. This kind of attitude is there. So Nagarjuna is more about this kind of attitude. So this kind of attitude will come only if he or she is practicing emptiness. So therefore, the Nagarjuna practice is mainly based on first you practice emptiness, and from the emptiness you try to see the things. Okay? This is how it goes. So how to practice first emptiness, and then how to develop this love and kindness and all this. So according to Nagarjuna tradition, if you are practicing Nagarjuna tradition practice, there are two ways. Either based on emptiness and based on equanimity. Okay? Equanimity is a relative one. Emptiness is also equanimity but ultimate. And there's another equanimity, the relative, which is all the beings are equal. Understand? There's two things. So first, if we talk from the ultimate point of view, the emptiness point of view, if you are practicing, you need to stay like, you need to do as also Tibetan Buddhist practitioner who is practicing Nagarjuna tradition, then you need to respect a little bit as a Tibetan things. That means you sit down and then you breathe 7 times or 21 times, so that all your element which we have, what to say, relaxed your body. So the first step of practicing, if you are making a note, you can make a note. That step 1 is that you stay in silence for I don't know how long you want. So after the silence, then you ask the question. Question is that you are all your 5 senses active. You are seeing the things, you are hearing the things, you are bodily feeling the things. In that time, then you see you ask to the question. Question is, what is the nature of all the object you are perceiving? What is the color? Does it really exist? If it really exists, how it exists? If this flower existing, I'm going to take it as a real flower. Huh?
Yes.
Sorry. You look to the flower and ask question. This flower really exists? Yes, of course it exists, because you are seeing it. Okay, if what I see is the flower, Is this the flower? Is this the flower? Of course not. This is not a flower. You tell to yourself, this is not a flower. This is a petal. Is this a flower? No. Is this a flower? No. Is this a flower? Is this a flower? No. Is this a flower? This is not a flower. So where is the flower? You ask the question and you divide by like that. There is no flower. But still I'm seeing it because just now I take it out physically. But when you are visualizing, you can take it out. You can take it piece by piece, but you can still see it, right? So like that. If it exists, how it exists? What is the size? What is the color? Red is not possible because red is projection. So therefore, you tell to yourself, whatever I see, finally, that's my projection. It's just a projected. This is what my mind wanted, and it happened that way. The first question, you look to the projection. So answer is always projection. It is just simply a projection. It's not real. It's projected that way, like a dream. Then you can give yourself a 5 example if you want. Like a dream, like an illusion, like a what is it?
Reflection of the moon.
Yeah, reflection of the moon.
Fata Morgana.
This sound from the echo, and then when you see river water.
Mirage.
Yeah, 5 example. Jiminy Ronzo Mahapene has given this 5 example. Because there is a moon, because it is a little bit daylight, because there is a sand, because there is a wind, because I'm thirsty, and I'm far. When all this cause and condition comes together, what did you see? Water. It's just projection because this cause and condition give you an opportunity to apply whatever you want, and you apply it as water. Get it? Just now I'm talking. Okay, after lunch we will meditate this one, step by step. You will love it. So, because this cause and condition is there, you can project as a water. So therefore you are running towards it. The more nearer you come, what happens next? You give up the idea. Because that time you realize it is no longer a water. It is just a combination of many things together, and you decide to say it is this one. The scientists decide to give a dinosaur. Dinosaur doesn't know he's a dinosaur. Because his name is not a dinosaur. We just give the name dinosaur. And what is a tyrannosaur? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We give the name. He doesn't know this name.
Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah. But Tyrannosaurus doesn't know. Finally I know what is my name. But we give them. And for us it's real now. For them was strange. They didn't know they are called that one. Like that. So we just like it and we call it water. Because we call it so much, what happened? We make it real. Because we want to believe it that way. This is called projection. So you stay down like that. It doesn't exist. It's not real. They are not real. Like a mirage. Like a dream. Like 11 in a dream. Not real. Like a echo. Not real. Like a reflection in the moon in the water. Not real. There's no moon in the water. You can see it. That's not the same thing. I see it, but it's not there. It's not real. So like that, in the first 2-3 minutes usually, you can stay in this emptiness, understand? And then second question comes. Okay, if this is not real, why I am seeing it? Who is projecting it? Who is the projector? So therefore you close your eyes that time and look to, actually my mind is the projector. My mind wants to see that way. The answer comes to yourself. You ask the question to yourself and you give the right answer to yourself, because you cannot lie to yourself. You know what you are talking. And you said, yes, this is my mind give the answer. Projector. Now in the second question, then where is your mind? Is my mind is on the head, in the brain? Or is my mind in the chest? Or is my mind in the stomach? Or is my mind on the feet? Or is my mind between me and this cushion? Or is my mind is just flying outside me? But that is impossible. It can be in me, if there is. So that like that we analyze, And then, I cannot find the mind anywhere. Maybe my mind is hidden in my heart. Sure, it's there. So you look to in your mind. If you have mind in your heart, what size it is? It is rectangle. It's a triangle. It's a square. It's a circle. What color it is? Blue, red, and all like that. Oh, I cannot find anything. Therefore, there's no mind. Second, to convince yourself, because it's a psychology thing. Now you need to convince yourself. How to convince? How can I find mind? While Buddha and Bodhisattva, for centuries to centuries, they tried to figure out where's the mind. They could not find. Every master says, I could not find the mind. How can I find mind if they cannot find? Even the scientists in the modern, they are saying there's no mind. They are also saying, no? It's more convincing for you. There's no mind. Therefore, there's no projector. How can there be a projector while there's no projection? You get it? Projector and projection is a link. If there's a projection, there's a projector. If there's a projector, there's a projection. But projection we already cut down. It was duplicated. So therefore, projector need to dissolve. It is interdependent. So like that. Finally, you realize there's no mind. Second stage. Now, third stage we call it relaxed in the nature. Relaxation in the nature. That time, then you need to stabilize. Actually, there's nothing. There's no projection. Therefore, there is no samsara. There's no nirvana. There's no projector. Therefore, there's no mind and wisdom. So, in this understanding, then you sleep there. You can call it sleep or relax there. In this understanding, there's nothing. And they stay in this deep silence. But within, while you are staying in this deep silence, there's one knowing. Knowing knows there's nothing. Knowing also knows you are in a deep silence. This we call it the awareness. In that time, then you stay your eyes open. Everything is activated. 5 senses is activated. You can see things, hear things, feel things. And then you apply the first 4 rules yesterday I told. Non-judgment. You don't judge anything. This is emptiness. Then you apply the second one. What is the second one? You stay like a mirror. You accept everything. Let everything reflect in you. No problem. You accept everything. You are open. You accept the good, you accept the bad. Because for you, there's no good and bad. Mirror never think that way. Acceptation. Apply that one. Second step. And then third step there, we apply mindfulness. Be aware of whatever happening. You know what is happening here. Because this is what we call it insight, vipassana. Insight meditation is that there are many things happening inside. Billions of elements of enlightenment is moving inside here. We are not seeing it. So awareness is more that one. But in our level, we don't see it. But still, we try to make awareness of the gross things. You know. Then after a long time of meditation, it changed gradually because you start to see different substance, particles, element, genetic, I don't know, factors, small thing like you are. The more you stay in this meditation, you are utilizing this microscope, and then you look. You are seeing very small detailed things, you know, like that. You start to see that one. Then when you start to see these things, whatever you are seeing becomes unreal, because you are seeing. When I see, for example, when I see him, maybe I no longer see him like sitting like this, or maybe like this. No, don't change, yeah, no, like this, because maybe I'm seeing him like a billions of light in him, because lights are also factor. Maybe I'm seeing him a billions of color in him. So for me, it's just a color and factor. But if I meditate, focalize even more, maybe I don't see even color and this small factor, because I go even more deeper. I see nothing, emptiness, maybe. Transparent. This is what the Bhajan is all about. So therefore, mindfulness is very important, because the more awareness you are in, the more and more things you can see it. The more and more things when you see it, you know it. When you know it, you know what to do with it sometimes. Because that's what the miracles things happened. For us it's a miracle because we cannot do it. But one bodhisattva to another bodhisattva, if they do this one, you say, he's just doing this trick. It's just a trick. It's a science. There's no miracles actually. It's just a science. One great master bring this element, red element, and he put that white element together, and there's some kind of a big flower just appear in the sky, in the space, just like that. Wow! For us, a miracle because this is impossible. But because they can see the small particle, they do it like scientists does. You know, for me, it's how can this Wi-Fi manage? You know? And Wi-Fi was existing here for millions of years ago. I heard that the Wi-Fi system they discovered from ant, because ant can manage to communicate to other ants, even they are that much far, because they have kind of like a Wi-Fi connection, you know. But it was there a long time ago. We discovered just now, you know. So there are many elements in the nature that we can do anything, whatever you want. That is why a practitioner is always obliged, especially the Tibetan practitioner is obliged to practice the basic practice. Because if this nature, whoever apply, can be yours. Because nature will never say, I belong to him, not belong to you. Who can manage to pick up? It is theirs. So if it is not a good practitioner, and he is more in awareness practice, he can get that one, and he can utilize in his own benefit. That's so much dangerous. That is why in Tibetan Buddhism tradition, if you want to practice, you have to respect refuge, you have to respect Boddhicitta, this Vajrasattva purification, even Guru Yoga, you have to look, master, and you have to listen everything what he says. If you disrespect him, you break the samaya. It's not like a punishment that the teacher wants to make you this one, but teacher knows there is a danger, that you can utilize these things, element, in your own favor. This exists in Tibet, in Bhutan. Here we call it black magic, but there it's not a black magic. It is a Damyam, somebody who has broken the Samaya. You know, there are some very, very good profound practitioners that has broken the Samaya, and they utilize this element on their benefit. This exists in our country. And then sometimes the village tradition, you know, when they ask you, I want a cow, you have to give the cow. I want this this ox, you know, I like it. And then the other family, okay, you take it, you know, because he is afraid that he might do it as black magic. This happens. It's a danger thing. Maybe you don't know that's or you don't believe in many of these miracle things. It's a good news. But I'm saying it. When you practice Vajrayana very deep, you can catch those elements, and you can twist these things. You can do it. But many masters don't do it, even though they know it. They never do it because this is what Guru Rinpoche said yesterday. I told you. Your view may be high as a space, but you need to respect the law of nature. When you don't respect it, you can twist it, but it will harm many people. Oh, I shouldn't do this one, you know. I harm the flower. So like that, you respect the third element, awareness. Stay in very deep awareness. Look everything silently. Go more deep into that one, you know. That one. And then the fourth element you apply, staying in the present. That time, don't let the past carry it away. Don't let the future carry it away. Traditionally, we say, if your thought went to the future, in the Kundala Mishiru, it says, think like you are fishing, and you are throwing this, what do you say, net on the sand. From the beginning, you know you are not going to get any fish. Therefore, the idea of fish is completely zero. In some other Dzogchen texts, it says, you have a very much big imagination in your mind that you are going to have so much money because you are going to steal the money from Tom Cruise. You are going there. There's so much expectation. You make already plan what you are going to do. You drive the van, disactivate all the security things, you go inside his house. And what happened next? If you find nothing, there's nothing, it's if the house is empty. What happened next? The entire plan he has collapsed. Everything is gone. It says like, if your thought is going to the future, then it says, apply like you are fishing on the sand. And say, oh, it's fishing like on the sand. You are not going to get fish. Forget it. If your thought going to the past, in the text it says, imagine like what to say, like an illusion. You know, past might come like it is real. It is there. Its memory comes. It's like a real. But in illusion, you might see things very real, but it's not real. It says, you think like an illusion. It's not real. If your present still becomes the obstacle, sometimes the present becomes also a thought. You know, you just lost in this thought. It is become like that. It says, think like a dream. In the dream, you can see so many nightmares and all these difficulties. But that very moment, if you wake, dream is no longer there. It's gone. It says, just like a dream, you just awake. It's no longer there. It's not there. So like that, in the Kunzala Mishelung, it says, past, present, future. You apply that way because we are a beginner. We don't see. When we say future does not exist, we don't know how to apply. So in the Kunzala Mishelung, it says, for the beginner, we always need to apply through example. That's why I put always example. Yeah, it's like that, like a blind man, because we are blind. We don't know what is really emptiness it is. But still, we can apply that way. That will convince you gradually, and then gradually you will start to understand, feel it. So therefore, beginner is always like, future does not exist. It's like fishing on the sand. So therefore it's normal, there will be no future. So I keep a future. Past is like illusion. Present is like a dream. Like that. So therefore I stay in the moment. Whatever I see. This Kung Fu Panda. This tortoise said to the what is it, rabbit? No, not rabbit, fox. He said, fox was a very good master, but he's a Tibetan kind of people, like that. And then what to say, tortoise, it was very cool, And what he said, because he was fox was so much, he knows his 4 student is not good, and then the teacher what is it, tortoise, give a title to the panda, who is good for nothing. This is what fox knows, and there's an enemy. This is no leopard. He is very strong, and fox is seeing the reality that nobody of here can deal with him. And what is tortoise is very cool. He's saying, what he says is, past does not exist, future does not exist, present is like a gift. Therefore, present, take like a present. You respect present. Present is like a present. Take it. Master was very cool, Fox. So like that. This is we call it the moment. Give up all the stress. Give up all of about these things. Relax. That's called staying in the moment. So these 4 you need to apply. Once you apply, everything becomes like an emptiness. In this point of view, there's nothing existing. So this is how usually what to say, Nagarjuna tradition used to practice. Okay, utilizing this 4 elements. Now, from this point of view, when everything is empty from your point of view. Now, from here, if you look to the other, because I am very cool, and then when I look to him, to her, she is very much worried about how to run the house, taking care of the children. For me, it's like, oh pity. Not necessary actually. Why did she marry to him from the beginning, So therefore, I can see you are doing, you are exaggerating. We say exaggerating? So much that you are creating your own, you are digging your own hole, that you. So this is how, from the emptiness point of view, one sees that way. So automatically you cannot hold your compassion. This is how it comes. So therefore, from this perspective, then you generate compassion. But usually it depends on which you want to generate. Sometimes some people generate compassion first and then loving kindness after. Some people generate loving kindness first and compassion after. Because loving kindness, if the compassion is based on loving kindness, compassion becomes very strong. Because compassion I can get easily. He's sick, but it's not so much strong. But if I like that person, if I love that person, and then compassion, if there's compassion, then my energy will be 10 times stronger than what I used to be, because I love that person. So it depends on which you want to apply. So this perspective, we does not talk much about the other, love, the kindness, compassion. This is mostly emptiness and the compassion, according to this way of view we practice. Okay. And then, if it is not that way, if it's other way around, this again with Nagarjuna tradition, based on the relative equanimity. So, if you are practicing relatively equanimity, relative Boddhicitta practice, then it says that you need to practice from equanimity. You know, that's four immeasurable practice. You know, equanimity.
Love.
I'm
Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, sure.
You don't love people, huh?
no, just love myself.
You don't. You have no compassion to other people, huh?
Just for myself.
Okay. You are not happy. Are you happy? Do you have a joy in your mind? So like that. Equanimity, loving kindness, compassion, and joy. These four is called the four immeasurable bodhisattvas practice. Okay? So when you practice based on the Asanga tradition, no, Nagarjuna tradition, his understanding is mostly this equanimity for him when it practiced first equanimity, he practiced with three different ways. First equanimity is that I don't need suffering. Nobody wants suffering. In that understanding, we are all equal. Right? Like I want happiness and I want to be in the cause of happiness, every being wants the same way. That understanding, we are same. Then in the meditation you say to yourself, like I don't want suffering. All the beings are same. In that sense, we all are same. You desire happiness. I desire happiness. I want that you treat me good. And you also want that one. If all our need is that one, then why should I be the special one? So therefore every entire being is special to me because they desire the same as I desire. In this understanding, we are same. And then relax there a little bit. This is first way of practicing the equanimity from Nagarjuna point of view, in the relative practicing. In the ultimate is emptiness. Everything is empty, like we did before. And then in the second level, it says based on the emotion level. Emotion is that whatever I do, if I get angry, it's because if I'm upset, it's because I'm angry. If I'm happy, because my attachment, desire, wish is fulfilled. So we're up and down is always based on our emotions. The entire being's up and down is also based on the emotion. From emotion point of view, we are all equal. We have the same quantity of emotion. So therefore, why should I become so upset? And then I put you down. Because putting you down means you are also upset. And you don't want that one. And I don't want him to put me down either. In this sense also, we are equal. So Nagarjuna practice based on the emotion. And then third way of equanimity is that uncertainty, we call it. Uncertainty is that how can I say I love this person and I don't love that person. Because today I said to you, I love you. Tomorrow I will see you, no, I'm not a gay. So maybe, yeah. Today I say I love you. You have a boyfriend now. It's okay.
Still the same as last.
Today I say I love you. Okay? And then it was very good thing. And tomorrow I saw you with a boyfriend. I get upset. So tomorrow I'll say we are no longer friends. We are enemy. 1 year later maybe it changed. No? So therefore I cannot guarantee that this person deserves happiness and this person don't deserve happiness. There's no guarantee. Everything changes instantly. No guarantee. Therefore, in the philosophical example, classic example is always given like a past life. You can be your father, you can be your enemy, and in your present life, this enemy is your best child, possible. In the past life, it is your best friend. In this life, it can be the most unlike, dislike enemy. It can be. So everything can be changed. So therefore, I cannot say you deserve happiness, you don't deserve happiness. So therefore, it's so much complicated for me. Okay, all of you deserve equal happiness. So therefore, I give everything. You know, in the Nagarjuna, when they practice that way. These three steps they apply according to the Kunza Lameshadam process of Nagarjuna application. Okay, and then when you practice what to say, loving kindness and compassion, because what to say, loving kindness and compassion, it is always is very powerful, because if you want, you can change the situation based on your loving kindness and compassion. You know, you can change it. It's very powerful. I also heard that what to say, brain in the heart. You see? Did you heard like this?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, brain in the brain. We heard that one, huh? But brain in the heart. Did you heard this one?
No.
Somebody told me. We have a brain which is very much independently, all the cells are independently working. And then it is very much powerful. It has a kind of like a Wi-Fi. It can go, it can sense. Therefore, sometimes I can feel what you are feeling. You know, you can give me the vibe, so I understand. Oh, this person is angry. This person is happy. This brain knows. This is the vibe. In some, somebody told me who is also studying physics. You know, he told me some scientists start to discover there's a brain in the heart.
Not in the stomach?
No,
It's
in the
stomach
heart.
also.
In the heart, but which is 40 times more brain brain cell than the brain one, bigger, and it is Wi-Fi is even 40 times bigger than the brain's Wi-Fi is. Therefore, it seems like it makes more logical for me. Like great master, when they practice so much, sometimes they can read the people's mind, because they are mostly focused on the heart brain, which is very much independent. This brain is like a democracy. Heart brain is like a monarchy. Monarchy or monarchy? Monarchy, yeah? Monarchy. Because why I'm saying is that, suppose if you don't know how to swim, your brain will tell you what? You don't know how to swim. So therefore don't go to swim. This is what the brain sends you the message. This is always how it works. But when situation come like you are in the water, just near the river, and somebody you know very well, friend or somebody, is swimming, and you don't know how to swim, and suddenly he or she is drowning. What your brain will tell? Don't go, you cannot swim. But your heart will tell, your heart will oppose those messages, saying, no matter what, that person is somebody I love so much, I go. Maybe you die because you don't know how to swim. But your heart don't listen to the brain. So some physics teacher told me the heart is more independent, and then it is more message from heart to brain they are sending than the brain sending to the heart. Maybe you look in our root master in Google, you can find it. Okay? So therefore, it is heart is more independent. It's like a monarchy. The king does whatever he wants. It's like heart does whatever he wants. So through that practice, if you manage to control the heart, maybe you can do many things. This is what Buddha Bodhisattva is doing, reading the other people's mind, knowing other people's situation. It's all coming through the heart. So the more you understand, maybe until now, how much the 4G? We have 5G?
4G.
No, we don't have 5G, yeah?
Not yet.
In Korea, they have 5G.
Yes.
So the energy, the vibe of the heart is like a G's, 2G's, 3G's, 4G's, 5G's. So it reaches this much. Maybe if you practice so much, it can reach like a 100 G's. And then entire Earth, Moon, Sun, Galaxy, universe, and then other universe, other stars. Maybe this is what Buddha is happening. Buddha can go there, come back. He can just send a message like that, and then they are receiving there like end one end to other end. Maybe they, I don't know, but it can be like this. From because they practice here and they send from here. The message, this 3Gs, 4Gs, 5Gs, like a movie of what's her name? She's very beautiful girl lady. Lucy. They are talking about we are using how much percentage at the beginning? 8%, something like that, from our capacity. But if it is utilized 100%, it's talking everything about what is happening. Same, I think. And then this director is Chinese, I think. This movie. So it is surely coming either from Taoist understanding background or Buddhism background. This idea. Okay? So anyway. So therefore, try to develop love in the heart. Try to develop compassion in the heart. So usually one can practice this Tonglen practice. So I think you know how to practice Tonglen. So traditionally when you practice Tonglen, the step one usually we always sit down. Just now I'm talking, okay? You listen. After lunch, you practice, I talk. Okay? So step one is we sit down when we practice Tonglen. Step two, because it is about you are trying to give something to somebody else. Therefore, the one who gives should be very much happy. If you are not happy, you don't know how to give. So therefore, you need to generate a lot of love in your heart, based on the relative understanding. That means you have enough to eat, good life, good friend, good families, you have a lot of support, good teacher, good Dharma friend. This will give you so much confidence and joy. First look to this one. The second step, if you want, then you visualize Buddha, Bodhisattva as a spiritual, spiritual insurance, you see? That you have a spiritual insurance. That whatever happened, they are there for you. So therefore you are spiritually protected. So you feel so much loved. Even Buddha loved me. Even Dharmapala loved me. This kind of feeling you have. Now you are the happiest person in the world. Third step, In the fourth step, then you are trying to develop this compassion and loving kindness. Then you visualize somebody in the past that you wanted to help, but you are weak, you could not do much, but you happen to be there, situation happened to you, because this is the most effective. Bring this kind of situation in your present and you visualize that situation. In that moment, you visualize, try to understand every situation, the expression of the person, For example, if I bring my mother, I visualize my mother and her difficulties, but not only that one, what she is thinking. Like she is thinking, I have only one son who is in Amsterdam right now. I hope he comes there to give me some to bring some things in my in the room because I could not walk. This is what I raise my son, and I wish he be here, like that. Or he's so much thirsty, and then sun is very warm and want to drink all this salive and all it's dry up. You imagine this kind of situation, and then try to understand what he is asking. Maybe he's asking, I need water, but you don't give fire. He is asking water, so try to understand what he needs. In the fourth step, so his situation, he and his situation look. So the more you look like that, then you try to understand. Then what you feel is, this person needs this, and then you generate a lot of love, and then you send this love. Usually, traditionally, how we send? With a light. It goes with a light. But when this light goes there, this light transforms into whatever it needs. Maybe it's a medical, maybe it's a healing, maybe it's a support, maybe it's a psychological need, maybe it's just to say, you are okay, giving hand. Whatever you like, it's up to you. But when it reached there, when they got it, they feel like, I'm very much relaxed. Thank you. So therefore, you feel so much loved. That's how one generates the love. Okay? But you don't stay there. But it's not in one breath. When you breathe out, you breathe like that. But at the same time, you will be within this process. You will be breathing like 10 to 20 times. But it's not important. When you breathe out, your concentration go out. But you can breathe many times. But you stay concentration. But when after a few times, when you think that you should come back, then you breathe in. When you breathe in, all his suffering, pain comes in the form of smoke. Comes in interest in your nose, two nostril, goes in your throat, comes in your heart, it penetrates the heart. Deep inside your heart, there is one thing that does not want this to come, the ego. Because ego says, I don't want to help that person. This thing is there, always. But when his pain comes and then touches the ego melts down, ego cry. I didn't know you have this kind of pain. You have so much pain. I'm very sorry. I didn't realize that one. Then you generate compassion. Okay? Again you generate love, send it there, and bring it like that. So this is called giving and taking. Only you give the love, you take the pain. You understand the pain. Again you develop the love, send it. How much you want? 1 hour, 2 hours, 20 hours. 1 year, 2 years, or just 5 minutes a day. And then at the end, if you want to end up the practice, then you are obliged to end up your practice with a joy. Because if you finish your practice with compassion, there's a risk. The risk is you can go to depression. Because compassion is something you see as something object difficulties, and you feel very sorry, and you end up with sorry. That means you come to the house very sad, like a Lang very sad. No smile in your face. The joy is lost. Your cat and dog is no longer happy. This happens. So therefore, it's always said. Khenpo Tseten always said, if you finish your practice, you try to finish your practice with love and joy. No, not love. Joy. Joy is like now I wish. Joy is like now you are very happy, and I'm happy for you. Love is like I wish you receive the happiness. It's love. Compassion is I wish you don't suffer. That is compassion. But joy is you are happy, therefore I'm happy. So if you finish your practice with joy, you go up outside. You feel so happy. You practice sadhana sometime here, And then when you end up, just finish, you don't wake up, just stay like a 2, 3, like 10 seconds, and feel like what you have done for 1 hour, feel happy. Max, I'm speaking French now. Thank to yourself and compliment yourself. And say, wow, I've done something good. Make the good feeling in your heart. You go out, you will smile. Because this is the main reason why we are practicing. It's not like you come to the temple and you feel very happy for 2 hours and you go back, you feel very sad for 22 hours. This is not the idea. This idea is you come for the temple for 2 hours and then you generate the energy and you go back and you utilize this energy for 22 hours. You are happy for 22 hours. And next day you come again for 22 hours to generate the battery. It's like that. So like this, one always need to finish the practice with joy. Then feel great. Thank you. So this is what we call it, the 4 immeasurable practice. Equanimity, and then according to Nagarjuna, is Tonglen, giving and taking. But Tonglen, just now we do this one, but in Tonglen you can do in many ways. You can practice to yourself, because you are also somebody need help. You can practice yourself to yourself. You give love to yourself to yourself. This is also giving and taking. You can practice this to yourself and somebody who is dying. This one. Otherwise, there are other Tonglen. Is understanding best, like more in the Boddhicitta Avatara. Boddhicitta Avatara is you are there, and you change, because you don't like your boss, because boss is shouting to you, and you change yourself. You meditate like boss is you and you are boss. So therefore, you understand why boss is so angry and why he is yelling to you. You understand the boss position, point of view. So therefore, when boss shout you next time, you said, okay, I know why he is shouting. And then if you also you change with the same people, and the competitive. Why he is so much competitive to me? Because we are equal, and you change it. You understand why he is so much competitive, because he wants the post that you wanted. Same reason. And then if I am so much rude to somebody else who is inferior, you change it. Okay? And then once you change it, then you try to understand how this inferior person feels when you shout to them. He feels so down. He feels so unwanted. He feels so like a third-class citizen, like that. So, but because you change there, you feel I am the third-class citizen. So after that one, you come back, and then after that one, you will not look this person down, because you understand you put your feet in his shoes. You put your feet on the competitive shoes. You put your feet on the somebody superior shoes. So there are only 3 beings exist in the world. 3 beings. There's no 4th. 3 beings is, one is superior, one is same, and one is inferior. There's no 4th. When you understand these 3 beings, you understand the entire beings. This is how also the Nagarjuna tradition, the giving and taking, sometimes we call it the giving and taking, but we call it also exchange practice. This also one can do. So like this, at the end also, you end up with joy. Oh, I take so much time, yeah? Okay, so we end up, this is the Nagarjuna tradition. So after lunch, we will do a little bit Asanga tradition, and then we will do like 20 minutes of Nagarjuna Asanga tradition, 20 minutes like a Vajrayana tradition, and then we will do maybe 20 minutes of meditation.
Andra Krixum Landa Chakuna Puta Rashara Pajam Leva Shapshana Joshampe, Yame Toki Tiki Shisho, Kira Kudo Yonda Dama Tantra Mechuki Bella Lunchu, Satanamke Yenten Ratsut, Nitache Shanki Kopanya Tosho, Bezajamaya, Manupalaya, Shalutinapa, Distrimova, Shudoka Yemeva, Suboka Yemeva, Anurata Mepava, Sarvashiti Meprayatsa Savakama Susami, Idam Sriam Guru, Ha, Bhagavan, Savatata Kata Ben Sabamena Saben Sibava, Samaya Sato. So, you continue 2:30.